Hey, so if you're normally here for like my Datto Does Destiny content, this is gonna be like not that at all. I have just been given an opportunity, and I wanted to kind of share some shoe knowledge and do a legit check of the Chunky Dunks. Like a real pair versus a fake pair because I received a fake pair when I bought one on eBay, and don't worry, I'm already in the process of returning it and getting a refund, so don't worry about me. But I have a legit pair that I won from a raffle from CCS. So I figured let's do a legit check to show people, how to spot a fake pair of shoes. Obviously this is only one fake pair compared to the many, many, many variants that there could be. But let's take a look. So first thing, very, very first thing is this is the legit pair right here. This is the fake pair. So already I have a problem with the amount of paper that is actually being used right here. This wraps completely over this shoe. Over here, we literally just have these little flaps, and that's it. This comes up like this, and you have to take this out, take the shoe out, unwrap this giant thing of paper. So already we're off to a bad start. Now, the seller of this pair of shoes, these fake shoes, said that they were StockX verified. So let's talk about the StockX tag. Here's our StockX tag. Now, obviously, I don't have a StockX tag on the legit pair because I got them from a raffle. But I do have a pair of Purple Lobsters. So we can look at the tag that they used that I actually got these from StockX. So the legit pair, not as bold font on the tag. It's pretty close. But the main thing here is the little mechanism that they use to lock the tag so that you can't just pull it open again. You can see here it is flush with the thing. You can't really pull on it, tug on it to take it out. And just it's not going anywhere. Whereas on the fake pair, we can see it is not flush at all. In fact, I can literally like push it up and down. So that's no good. That's fake. Now another way you can tell that they're fake is by the QR code. So on a normal pair that you actually get from StockX, if you scan the QR code, it will just spit out like a random series of numbers, which I assume is StockX internal tracking. So that way they can track like whatever info they need to track. On the fakes, it just brings you to StockX, and that's it. There's no numbers, there's no sequence, there's nothing. So that's one way of telling. You can also kind of tell on the camera, maybe a little bit, like this is really, really shiny throughout, and on the fakes, it's sort of like not really, like only on the X is it. And if we want to take a look at the black light, this thing has helped me so much. I don't know how legit using a black light is to detect fakes, but for me, it's worked a lot. That's on the real. That's on the fake. And it's pretty cut and dry there. It's a sense of fake tag. So literally based on that, I mentioned to my guy that I bought these from, I was like, hey, this is a fake tag, and you said that they were legit, so it's time for a refund. And funny enough, he offered me a $200 refund on these shoes. Spoilers, I got them for much more than that, and I said, go F yourself. You claim that these were legit. They're not, so you can either refund my money, or I will charge back on PayPal, and I will keep your dumb fakes and light them on fire. So he wanted that refund pretty quick. So let's take a look at them side by side. First things first. The way the laces are put on these shoes is insane to me. These are the fake pair. They sort of bundled them together, and this is on like super, super tight. Normally it's supposed to like come through the laces up here, but these are just sort of like bunched on together. I've never seen them laced like this, and most of the time you're able to like tuck them into the shoe. This is the real pair. They're individually wrapped on each of these little plastic things. You can actually tuck them into the shoe, with a little finagling. But with these, like, no chance. So this is no good. On the tongue, Here's our Nike SB. This is the legit. And then we have our fakes. You can see on the fakes, the font from Nike is like right up against the edge of the tongue, like there's no gap. Whereas on here, there is a gap. It's a very big gap. The font's a little bit different. You can see on the S compared to the fakes. The S is not as big. It's not as bold. So that's another thing. By the way, I'm not a professional legit checker or anything like that. This is just sort of self-taught, but you know, I figured it's better than nothing, right? Better than nothing. Here we go. This is the legit pair. And the fakes. The biggest thing to me here is on the toe box, the color, the blue color is like really, really close. It's pretty darn close. But the blue here, where the swoosh is on the legits, is much darker than the fakes. Much, much darker. These are starting to fray a little bit because I keep taking these things out of the box to admire them because I like them so much. This material right here compared to this feels very, very, very similar. I don't think you're really going to be able to tell. And also the cow print is different on every shoe, so that's not really anything to go on. Let's take a look at the back of the shoe. The biggest thing here for me was that on the fakes, and just in general on the fakes, they're much wider. It's a much wider and flatter shoe compared to the real ones, which are a bit narrower. And maybe I can do a top down here. You can see it's a bit narrower of a shoe. It feels like this comes up a bit higher. If we want to look at the stitching of the clouds here compared to the fakes, it's a bit more pronounced on the real ones. Also this, I just sort of noticed this right now, this stitching down here looks kind of not great compared to here, which looks a lot smoother. Maybe it's just because it's all black. Also the swoosh here comes a bit lower compared to here, which is like halfway up. The stitching on the Nike, not great with stitching, but I don't know, maybe you see something. These are the fakes. And these are the reals. Inside of the shoe, sort of the same deal as the other side. This is the real. And this is, well, I can't really move the lace, so I don't know how much you're really going to be able to get out of that. The toe box just seems like this is just a bit of a fatter shoe. The material is, again, pretty close. This feels the slightest bit softer compared to this, which is a little bit, I don't want to say rougher, but I don't know. This is maybe smoother. This has, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to tell. It's very close. The holes on the front of the toe box, there are a bit more pronounced on the real pair. This is the real pair. Sorry, I'm trying to autofocus as much as I can. Compared to the fakes just sort of look like a little, like they just kind of poked a hole in it. Whereas with the real ones, it feels more stamped out. I don't know how close I can really get. The bottoms. So we have the bottoms of the shoe. Already you can probably tell on the real ones on the left, The green in the center is a bit darker. And another thing I've seen is the gaps on these 4 stripes right here compared to this. There's like basically no gaps at all compared to the legit pair, which has a little bit more spacing on it. If we want to take a look at the bottom, right here, the swoosh logo. Sorry, I'm sitting in a really awkward position, so it's tough to hold it still. The Nike font on the fakes is way, way thinner. Way thinner. And you can probably see like some highlighting around the box as well compared to this. I'll use a black light in a second here. So again, I'm not sure how good of an indicator the black light is to show off fake versus real, but it's helped me a lot. It's pretty clean. And you can already see, here's our fake pair. What the hell is that? Gross. That's a little glue stain right there on the real pair. But speaking of that, let's look at some dye lines. From what I've researched anyway, this dye lines on the shoe are sort of a giveaway that they are not real. Here's our focus. This is our legit pair. You don't really see any lines around the swoosh or anything like that. It's just from the actual swoosh itself. Whereas if we come over here, oh my goodness. Look at those lines. Yeah, so everything that I've researched says that's fake. You also even have a little, little one up at the front right there to denote where the middle is. It's the same story on the other side of the shoe. You can see those lines clear as day compared to the legit. Again, that's a glue stain down there. And then even on the back of the shoe, these are the real ones, and you can kind of see they glow. The stitching glows. No glow. Also, I don't know if the positioning of the tongue really means anything, but the tongue here was really crammed in, whereas on these it was not really crammed in at all. Not sure how much of a tell that is. Let's take a look at the box. So here are the boxes. On the left is the legit one, and on the right is the fake one. Pretty close. I don't know if I can really use boxes as a way to tell true versus fake. I know you definitely can. I'm just not experienced enough in them. That was one little tell right there for me anyway. Also, the Nike font on the bigger on the fake pair seems a bit taller compared to the real one. It's a little more smushed. You can also see the bottom of the swoosh gets a lot closer to the yellow on the fakes. Otherwise, it's relatively close. Let's take a look at the label. So, this is your legit label. And this is your fake label. On the fake label, the font on the sizes is a bit thicker. All right, look at that 10 compared to this 10. It's a lot thinner on the legit box. So, that's it, I guess. Again, don't worry about me too much. I'm getting these returned, but I wanted to use my platform to educate those who might come across some chunky dunks God, they're nice. Just wanted to educate, while I had the opportunity. The sellers of eBay are a scam, and it sucks. I'm 0 for 3. I got the fakes for, I want to say, about $200-300 less than they're going for StockX or Goat right now. Sorry about the truck in the background. Just looking for some investment pieces, looking for some deals. And these were many, many signs of being fake. Sorry, those were fake. Speaking of which, 2 more fake pairs right there that are also getting returned. So we're 0 for 3 on that. If you are going to buy from eBay, just make sure it's a reputable seller. Don't get anything from anyone who has 0 feedback or very limited feedback. Make sure they have receipts for everything. Make sure that they can tag their pictures with their username. They're not just, taking photos from the internet. Use reverse image search. That has saved me a bunch of times. Try to buy from, maybe consignment stores or people who actually have a username instead of just like whatever the default name is. That really helps too. But otherwise, if it's anything more than, I don't know, $300 on eBay, I'm very wary of it being a scam. So just watch yourselves out there, all right?